Hi, everyone. Welcome to Two Women Talking. Our topic today is the power of focus. And before we get into it, just to give you a little background on our weekly talks, the purpose of these talks is to support and nourish women to keep life simple, because I'm sure everyone can relate that life can be a little bit chaotic sometimes. So first of all, I just want to get Natalie to introduce herself.
Absolutely. So my name is Natalie Stratton. I am the creator and founder of Create a Beautiful Life Destination Retreats. I'm a lifestyle coach and with a background as a certified personal trainer, as well as I am a mama of three beautiful human beings.
Thank you, Nat. And you can find more about Natalie at her website at nataliestratton.com. And I'm Sarah DeCiccio. I'm a certified holistic coach. I'm a coach. I have two young children. And if you want to learn more about me, you can check me out at my website at www.findingyourwellspot.com. So let's get into it. The power of focus. I know I can struggle with this sometimes. Being a mom, you're multitasking, you're doing things for the kids, you're doing things for home, you're doing things for business. You can get overwhelmed. Maybe that can lead to getting sick sometimes or really run down. So Nat, do you have like three big ideas for us to really just create more focus in our life?
Absolutely, I do. Because yes, raising three children that now are young adults, I, as a single mom, certainly understand how easy it is to go down into different rabbit holes as far as, am I doing enough? Am I doing it right? You compare yourself, you see that super mom at the hockey rink and think, oh man, I'm never going to be like her, and kind of deflates you and your self-esteem and all of these things. I mean, I've been there, done that. And so, I've always been on a quest, though, from a personal development perspective, hence I created a whole business around it, to find and empower women. And so one of the things I think that's super important is how to keep life as simple as possible so that you can get the most powerful result. So the first big idea, number one, that I want to talk about, and this is all from a book called The One Thing by something Keller. Let me find it for you here. I'm an Audible girl. I listen to my books when I'm at the gym and stuff. So I'll get the name, the correct name and everything. What is the number? Here's the question. Here's the big question, you guys. I want everyone to write this down. It's a focusing question, okay? What is the one thing that you can do, such by doing it, everything else will be easier or unnecessary? Okay, so when you ask this question, what it creates is a position of control. You're back in control of your life, okay? So really, really important. Remember, I think on one of my talks on overwhelm, how you got to go general. This is going general. This is taking you to a higher level so that now you can come back down instead of being lost in the minutiae and the specifics of life, where it's like, oh, I got to get the dishes done. Oh, I got to get the laundry folded. And you get so overwhelmed. So this is going to take you up and out and general. And so what is the one thing that you can do, such by doing it, everything else will be easier or unnecessary? Great question. So let me give you an example of somebody that really understands the one thing. So we all know Bill Gates of Microsoft, correct? What did he do? He went to school for computer programming. What did he start? He started a computer company. What did he do? He did one thing. Like, don't ask me to repeat it. Something process or thing he did. And who did he become? He became the richest man for 15 years at one point, just doing one thing, computers, doing it really well. And then him and Belinda, his wife, started a foundation now that he's retired from his Microsoft days. And what do they focus on? One thing, and that's immunization to stop, disease, infectious disease, that's killing, I think, malaria or something to that effect. So very focused gentleman, and look where it took him. So I know we're talking about a man, and we're talking about somebody that, did one thing really well. And as moms, because we're two women talking here and we're talking to women, we have to do a lot of things well. So what I'm basically saying is you have to let go of some of those things. You got to go out of balance, okay? So now I'm going to mess with a few of you. You got to get out of balance in order to really achieve what you really, really want to achieve. Not to say you're not going to get there, but if you think you're going to keep your house clean at the same time as build a really successful home-based business, good luck with that. Just saying, there's not enough hours in the day, I don't think, to do that. So something's got to give, basically. So Sarah, do you have any comments?
Well, and I think, and you have to be okay with that by letting something fall to the wayside. Like, so for example, like my focus this year is really to build my business, and I'm a neat freak. So my house is not as clean as it used to be because I am focused on my business, but that brings me so much more joy, I think, to seeing my business grow and helping people as opposed to having a nice clean house. So there is like give and take to that for sure, and what you can focus on. And it was the same when I was faced with that challenge with like my kids and my husband having a very restricted diet because they have so many food sensitivities. I just focused on one thing, and that was nothing else. Everything else was just not important in our lives at that time. It was more about food. What can I do to nourish these kids, like my kids and my husband's bodies? And you know what? I figured it out pretty quickly because that was my focus every single day, was just to focus on that until I actually met my goals, and I did. So I think it works for sure.
Totally. You can't chase two rabbits. You're not going to catch either one. Simple as that. Okay.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, big idea number 2.
Okay, perfect. So big idea number 2 is use the 80-20 rule. So it's called the Pareto principle. And what that means is you got to identify your highest leveraged activities. Okay. So for instance, I know for me, going to bed early is a high leveraged activity for me because it sets me up to have a really my next day to be highly successful, because I'm going to get enough sleep to get up early, to get to the gym, to do what I want to do to feel good in my body so that I can come home, be at my desk at 9 a.m. and start my day. So if I don't go to bed early, chances are I'm going to push the envelope, I'm going to push the snooze button a few too many times, and my day gets a little wobbly as a result of that. So one of the high leveraged activities for me, so I always say there's 2 to 4 things that if you change will make 80% of the difference in your life. So identify the things that are getting in your way of getting to whatever you want. In my case, it's just really production in a day. I'm just turned 50. I'm noticing my energy levels are changing. I have to be more efficient. I'm not 30, 40 anymore where I could kind of pull it out of the hat and get away with it. It's a little bit different now, I'm noticing in my body. So I have to get really efficient. So it's like asking yourself those really good questions. What are, success questions, or focusing questions? What is the 1 or 2 things that I can do that will really set me up for whatever my outcome is to get that best result? So that's definitely using the 80-20. So basically what the 80-20, for those of you that have never heard of that, it's taking the minority of your effort, so the smallest amount of effort to the biggest amount of success of your results. So example, oftentimes 20% of your customers are 80% of your profits. 20% of your investments equals 80% of your returns. 20% of habits usually results in 80% of success. It's like phenomenal. We're not exactly on 80-20, but that's just some examples.
I love that. Yeah, that's really good.
Great.
What's big idea number 3?
Okay, big idea number 3 is identify what is most important and give it your undivided attention. So figure out what your key top 3 priorities are. And I know we talked about this earlier as well. What are your top 3 priorities, and get them done? So for you to feel good about your life, if you need to get to the gym, get to the gym. If you need to have a clean house, clean your house. If you need to, everybody knows what makes them feel good so that they can have a successful day, then do that right away. If it means setting out all your gym wear in the morning so that you don't have to go down to the laundry to get it, because that might get in your way of getting to the gym, for instance. Or if you need to go out for a walk first thing in the morning and just clear and, breathe in some fresh air. What are the things that you can do different that will set yourself up for more success? And so again, focusing on what is the one thing that if you did differently would really create the biggest results for you. So Sarah, do you have just as I'm talking, any ideas what you could change?
What I can change? Oh yeah, I always, because my biggest challenge right now as an entrepreneur is growing your business and kind of like pushing through your fears. So like focusing on one thing. So I'm focusing on sharing what I'm doing with people. So even just to like go out and start sharing with people, that scares me. But at the same time, that's the one thing I know that will make a big difference in my business. If I never say anything or share it, I know no one will ever see like what I'm doing or what I'm all about, right? So sharing is really important right now. So that's kind of like the one thing I'm really focused on, is sharing my business with people and what I have to offer and how I want to help and serve.
Yeah, and I would love to hear from everybody that is watching this. What is your one thing? Let's create some dialogue, because I think we can learn from each other. I know for me, this is really starting to wear on me. I'm noticing I'm checking it a lot. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, and it's like I gotta really get some boundaries around this, because it's starting to become more of a inhibitor than a success, like that's been creating success in my life, because it's just our human nature, right? I know that they say when you hear the ding on your phone, it's like a dopamine hit, like you get a little buzz. So I'm really thinking about how I can, keep my cell phone, obviously, put some boundaries around it, like not take it to bed with me. Things like that. So definitely I'll keep you in the loop on what I'm learning about my cell phone, but love to know more of everybody else's, things that are getting in their way of success and what you need to change, the 80-20 rule. So yeah, just to recap, the big idea number one was the focusing question: what is the one thing you can do such by doing it, everything else will be easier or unnecessary? Big idea number two, use the 80-20 rule, and then get really specific, boil it down. And then number three is identify what's most important and give it your undivided attention. You cannot chase two rabbits. You won't catch either one.
Great. Thank you so much, Natalie. And thanks to everyone for tuning in to Two Women Talking. Definitely leave your comments and we'll be sure to be answering them. Thank you, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, everyone.